word whiskey in its original form means water of life. Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And today we're speaking with the Glenfiddich brand ambassador Ian Miller about their 50-year-old vintage and a few of their other popular whiskeys. So tell us about the Glenfiddich 50.
Well, obviously it was made a long time ago. We've got two whiskies from two different casks, 2 different years. So an American oak butt, which was filled in 1955, and an American oak hogshead, which was filled in 1957. American oak is great because it presents a whiskey very much in a naked flavour. It doesn't overwhelm it, and it kind of looks after it as well. So you've got, I guess because it's that age, you get a lot of lovely, delicate, floral, fruity fragrance or light grassy notes. It's an absolute joy to have it on the palate, and it's only something clearly that you can only access, I guess, if you've got a lot of money or someone who has a lot of money that's a good friend.
What makes it unique and what would you say leads to its relatively hefty price tag?
Because it's a 50-year-old, there's very little left in the cask at the end of maturation because we lose a lot during the maturation process. So there's very little left, and clearly there's not too many casks of 50-year-old even at our distillery. So it is kind of unique, it's very exclusive. And that exclusivity is driven up by the fact that there's only 50 available for the world every year.
What is it worth?
$26,262.73. And it's worth every cent.
What would you say is the best way to serve it?
Certainly in a secure premise for a kickoff with someone who knows a little bit about whiskey. Obviously you want to drink it with good friends. You want to make sure you've got really good glasses for it. You want to make sure it's presented at the right temperature, room temperature, about 15, 16 degrees. Make sure your glasses are kind of warmed up as well. And I mean, I'm not an advocate of drinking whiskey neat, but whiskies above 21, you really should not temper down with water or ice. So I prefer whiskey in its naked state when it's 18 and above.
Okay, so we're obviously not going to be tasting any of the 50, but what have we got here?
Well, we got some 15, 18, and I have also a special vintage, 1974. It's an excellent whiskey, but what I want to do is warm your palate up first. You should never take a really great whiskey and just kind of straight off the park. Always acclimatize your palate first by drinking something else. So we're going to try a 15. It's my daily whiskey. I like this one because it's not expensive, but it ticks all the boxes in terms of the kind of flavors I'm looking for. So this is a nice thin glass. What I want you to do is to put it into your hand and warm the whiskey up. By warming it up, you can expand the aromas and also the flavors, and you get just so much more enjoyment out of the whiskey itself. So I enjoy this one without water and without ice, but you can add water, you can add ice. What we say is there are no rules when it comes to drinking malt whiskey. If we said tomorrow you're going to drink whiskey neat, we would lose about 50% of all malt whiskey drinkers. If we said tomorrow that you couldn't put ice in your whiskey, we'd lose about 50% of malt whiskey drinkers. So what I'm saying to them is warm it up, get it up to room temperature. That will soften down the whiskey. You will get more flavour, more aroma.
Cheers.
Slange.
Okay.
It's soft, no bite. There's a little buzz on the tongue, but that's not too bad. You can live with that. As it gets warmer, it gets softer, easier, less buzz, and you also continue to expand the flavors and the aromas. So temperature does have a big part to play in the enjoyment of a malt whiskey.
Well, what happens if you put ice in?
When I add ice, all those flavors will contract down. But sometimes whiskey is quite a tough taste for the younger palate, so adding ice is a good option for them because it makes it palatable for the younger palate.
So now we're getting on to the 1974 vintage.
1974. This was selected by all the brand ambassadors back in May 2011. Every year we have a 2-week conference where we bring them back, go through a training program, and this year we use that as an opportunity to use them as the selection panel for this year's vintage. And they chose this 1974 out of 3 selected flavors. This was the one that they liked the most. So this is all American oak matured, and the good thing about American oak is it does help to showcase better the naked flavor of a distillery. European oak, which will have matured sherry, can sometimes overwhelm a whiskey to the point where you can't really taste the true naked flavor of the distillery itself. Just warm it up. It's kind of, well, feels kind of chilled. So this is $1,000 a bottle for good health. It's much stronger. You feel that? fruity, floral flavors cascading across the palate right now. A lot of sweetness in there, light caramels, brown sugars, but a lot of fruit, and some of it tropical fruit, like almost like melon. Some of that, you know, that red melon you get. Oranges, citrus orange, 37 years. That's produced something kind of unique that you would never get at the younger age.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.